Hello everybody, my name is Rugi and let's talk about how to pronounce this name.
あなたがロドスの指揮官ですね。新人オペレーターのサイラッハ。ただいま着任いたしました。
Okay, here we go again. Hello everybody, my name is Rugi and let's talk about Saileach. I do hope to get my pronunciation correct because I kinda screwed up twice previously. In two of my previous videos, I mentioned about how Saileach works because she is kind of fitting into CC meta. However, I kept stressing in comparison with Myrtle, which is the most used operator throughout the several CC seasons in a row. For today's video, I'm going to discuss about her skills along with how she will be deployed in the game and everything in between. Before we move on, remember to subscribe to my channel and stay tuned on my Twitter account and YouTube community post because I'll be hosting a giveaway raffle. Now, let's continue. Saileach is a 6-star standard bearer banker, or I prefer to call her as a flag bearer. She shares the same trait as Myrtle and Elysium, so I don't have to elaborate much because I mentioned it on one of my previous videos. Her first skill is exactly the same as Elysium's, which is Support Gamma, so I'm going to skip that as well. As expected from any 6-star operator, Saileach has two talents, which are Unwavering Banner and Spiritual Inspiration. For the first talent, which is unlocked at E1, Saileach will have an ensign which will function differently according to her skill 2 or skill 3. Allies surrounding the ensign will have their attack speed increased by 5 or 10 at E2, and in exchange, enemies' attack speed will reduce by 5 or 10 at E2 around the ensign. Unlocked at E2, Spiritual Inspiration brings a small buff in terms of DP. After Saileach is deployed, the next deploying operator will have their DP reduced by 2. It sounds similar to Texas talent but it's different, as Texas talent is applied by simply putting her into a squad.
命令を、子供たちの悲鳴が聞こえる。想像したことある。友も故郷も二度と戻らなくなることを。私がついている。思考を明晰にするは戦術。いいだ。命令を想像したことある。友も故郷も二度と戻らなくなることを。子供たちの悲鳴が聞こえる。連綿たる山々となれ。
Now, let's talk about pros and cons of Saileach. The biggest advantage of choosing Saileach over Myrtle and Elysium is, aside from being a DP printer, that she can be either offensive or defensive. While her skill 1 is similar to Elysium, her second skill proves more buffs compared to Myrtle, and her third skill proved to be more useful than Elysium's second. Not forget to mention, her second skill can even heal operators who can be healed, such as Mushaguas and Juggernaut defenders. Her DP compensation is also an advantage. While 2 DP sounds not so much, her second talent will provide a discount to several operators like Marok and Calcid. Why Calcid? Don't forget about her monster. Speaking of DP, there is one thing you should take note of. As we all know, the higher the rarity means the higher the DP cost for each branch. As of E2, Saileach's DP is 12. I have a good news and a bad news about her in terms of DP. Good news is you can reduce her DP to 10, but the bad news is you must well for her to do so. Nice. Also, the generic trait of a standard bearer. So in my previous video, I mentioned about how she will fit into the CC meta, although she is unlikely to dethrone Myrtle. Let me tell you why from my perspective. Normally, we retreat rank bars around 1/3 or halfway through the stage, but for a standard bearer's case, they can be remain deployed for the entire duration if you are doing a lot of deploying and retreating, or under the DP risk. Hence, Saileach will provide assist if you don't plan to retreat her yet. In terms of skill 2, she provides a certain level of survivability, especially in certain cases when medics are banned. However, guardians like Saria and Blemishine can do much better than her. For her skill 3, like I mentioned in my previous video, that skill is a crowd control ability which benefits her allies even in late stage phase. Second is about her overall stat. The reason is simple. She's a 6-star operator, which means she has the highest stat in terms of HP, attack and defense compared to her counterparts even at E0 level 1. In the end, I would say I will gacha for her, although Myrtle is still the queen of the standard bearers. Skill mastery wise, if you have sufficient materials, I recommend to M9 all of her skills. If not, leave them at level 7 is the best decision if your playstyle involves retreating vanguards early. As I mentioned before, her skill 1 is exactly the same as Elysium's first skill, but in terms of materials for masteries, Saileach's support gamma requires more material compared to Elysium's. So if you want to M3 just one skill, you can focus on either skill 2 or skill 3, depending on your playstyle. So, what do you think about Saileach? Will you set up for her? Let me know in the comments down below. Stay tuned for more Arknights contents and the giveaway raffle. I'll see you in the next video and thanks for watching.